Coach. How you doing? Joining us from Arkansas State, head coach Destiny Rogers, student athletes Winter Rogers and Chrislyn Rose. We'll start with an opening statement from Coach.
Well, first, regardless of what the outcome was or what this game looks like, God is still good. We are so thankful for the journey that we've been on this year. We've been counted out all season long, and I thought that in spite of, we were able to have a great season. Picked 13th, finishing second in our conference, and then going to the tournament and winning the tournament for the first time ever in program history. This does not take away from that. So for our players, we wanted them to walk out of the locker room with their heads held high, and I don't think that we have anything to drop our heads about. So I couldn't be more proud of this team, couldn't be more proud of this group of seniors. A lot of them chose to come here for their last year, and they're walking away a champion. So I'm proud to be the head coach at Arkansas State, and I love this team.
Thanks, Coach. We'll take questions for the student athletes first. Front row, Anthony.
Anthony Price, CT Hoops Magazine. You guys shot 6 of 40 from the three-point line. Did you feel that you had good looks tonight or this afternoon?
I feel like we did have some good looks. We just didn't execute, and we just didn't make shots.
Question. We'll go to Mike, second row on the right.
Mike Harley, Arkansas Democrat Gazette. For Christian, I'll just start with you. Just with the speed and athleticism that they had, they were, like I said, they really had no problems breaking your press. So, did it take kind of a quarter and a half for you guys to kind of adjust to kind of the speed and athleticism because you haven't seen a team like that to this point?
I feel like we just needed to be more aggressive in order to stop them from breaking our press. I don't feel like it was speed and athleticism. We just weren't as aggressive as we normally are, so I feel like that was the biggest difference from today's game and our previous games.
We'll go to Wazir, second row in the middle here.
Azar Johnson from MV Media. For both of you players, the caliber of play with UConn, and I'm pretty sure you've seen multiple defenses in play. What can you take from this to go about next time? Because knowing as athletes, you guys would go right back on that court right now if you had to. But what can you take away from this that's going to help you get better in the offseason when you get your next go-around at this?
I feel like it was just like a good experience to, be here and play against a team like that. And now we know what to expect. Our school has never been here before. So now we already said this, we're going to be back. So we're going to be back, we know what to expect, and hopefully it'll be a better outcome next time. Yeah, I'll just say what she said. That was a great team we just played against, definitely. So just experiencing it and getting the experience to play them, I feel like just helps a lot in general. I feel like we played against a lot of defenses this year, and wasn't nothing different from what they did against different teams. We just didn't really play like we play.
Questions for the student athletes. We'll take Brad in the back.
Yes, hi ladies. Brad from W. Swish. From hearing your name called on Selection Sunday until the game today, can you speak of how the team felt, the excitement, and just the overall experience of being in your first big dance?
It's very exciting. This is something you dream of as a kid, dream of growing up. You watch it on TV every March. It was just a blessing, just get here, all our hard work paying off, and it was just a great experience to be here.
We'll go back to Mike in the second row.
Last one for me, and really for either one of y'all, but just with the support you guys have gotten out of Jonesboro, and kind of just the community's kind of really gotten behind y'all, as you made this run. So I know it's just a few minutes after the game, so kind of you're still probably gathering your thoughts, but just kind of any thoughts on just the community support that's been behind you this whole ride?
I feel like when they say we've been counted out a lot, that was kind of included in that. Like, we didn't have as much support as we wanted, but we earned it. So, and I'm glad that we got the Jonesboro people behind us like that, because that do mean a lot to us to come out there with a crowd full of people, and then you got your one section behind you. So we're blessed to have the supporters that we do.
Questions for the student athletes. Go back to Anthony in the front row.
Obviously, Winter, either one of you guys can take this question, or maybe both. Obviously, despite the results today, you guys are champions. How does it feel to have champion next to your name and be part of a history at Arkansas State?
It feels great, like you said, for the rest of our lives, we're gonna carry that title with us. So just like having pride in that, it just feels good.
It's a great feeling. I mean, to watch all our hard work pay off and to be able to say that about yourself is a great feeling. And then to do it with this team, I would say is even better.
Any other questions for the student athletes? Winter, Chrislin, thank you. And sticking with the tradition of the NCAA tournament this year, you're more than happy to grab those nameplates on your way out, if you'd like.
Love y'all.
We'll take questions for Coach. Any questions for Coach? We'll go to Anthony in the front row.
I don't know how it was said, but earlier it was said that there's a sort of a talent gap between your team and the other team, just in terms of height and maybe some of the players. Do you feel that when you play at this level, when you're playing a number 1 team, a number 2 team in the country that's been ranked throughout the year?
I think that the biggest obstacle that we faced today was we played with a lot of fear. I mean, it's UConn. They're probably going to compete for a national championship. They're great players. So when you're at the mid-major level, obviously it's hard to have players like that on your team naturally. But I think that we could have absolutely competed a lot better. It's our first time ever being here, and there's no better teacher than experience. So that's what we're going to take from this. We got here, and now we've experienced it. And now you have to take this moment and say, what can I learn from it, especially for the kids that's coming back and our players that we're going to add to our team next year. So, yeah, they're great players. I think that we have great players as well. We could have competed a lot better. You play in front of a sold-out crowd. They make shots. The crowd roars. You've never been in that environment before, and it definitely affected us today. You could clearly see that. But we'll be back, and we'll be better.
We'll go second row on the right, Mike.
Hey, Coach, just with, like I said, when you're playing a team, as highly regarded as them, with the margins, being low, can you just talk about kind of the turnover issues in the first half and kind of how that, kind of set you behind the 8 ball early?
Yeah, that's fear. Like there's no other answer for that. That was, getting out there and seeing that name across the chest, and they kind of got in those gaps, and they were big, and we just threw it right to them. We go watch our film. That's not who we've been the whole year. So I think that the lights was probably a little too bright for us today. But again, that experience is something you can't take that away from these players. They learned a ton being in this environment, being in this experience. And so for me as the head coach, this is my first time being a head coach playing the NCAA tournament. So I learned a lot as well. So now we know what to expect. And now we're even more hungry to go do what we got to do to get back here. And next time it'll look a lot different.
Is there a question in the third row? Yeah, go ahead.
Hi there, Patrick Boots from Yukon Student Radio WHUS. First of all, welcome to Connecticut. I hope you're enjoying the weather at least.
Yeah.
And you folks, like we've been trying to say, very first NCAA tournament appearance. Can you speak on getting the last points in the game and less than 5 seconds left in the clock? And what does that mean for your team?
I mean, she just threw it up there. I'm happy to see something go in. we shot it 70 times, and most of the year, if you go back and you look at our stats, we get 70 shots up. We make a lot of them. So I thought that, they did a great job of, they're so big. They were in those gaps really well. It was kind of hard for us to see the kicks, I think. We should have made them a little bit sooner. But, again, we have not faced a defense like that all year long. We knew it was going to be a challenge. So, you can't – I mean, they're going to compete for a championship. There's no doubt about it. They play like that, they're going to beat anybody in the country. So I couldn't be more proud to be here and to represent Arkansas State. You would have liked to see a couple more go through the net, but that's not the story today. So in spite of, we were grateful to be here.
We'll go to Azir right here.
Hey, Coach. Azar Johnson from MV Media. I just want to talk about being that they weren't on the podium today. Shanae Brown and Nissa Sam Grant, I'm assuming they're graduates, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
So they won't be back next season.
Right.
I think anytime and you know this, being an athlete, college athlete, the work, sweat, and blood and tears that you put into it, I think they always earn the right to speak about, their play, what they put into it, and the program and how they got here. But being that they're not here on the podium, I'm pretty sure you can speak to their character and who they are.
Yeah, so we actually have, Nay Brown, Anna Griffin, Mimi McAllister, Kiana Morgan, Kennedy Montu, and Nisa Samgrave. We're actually losing 6. So we have 6 seniors that have put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this program. I think a story that you guys may not be aware of is that they all transferred here for their last year. When you look at our record last year, we did not have a good year, and we only had 3 players returning. And those 6 players chose to come here for their last year because they believed in me as a head coach, and they believed in the vision that we had. And so the thing that I'm most proud of is, despite this right here, they're walking away as champions, and you cannot take that away from them. So I couldn't be more thankful for them taking that risk to come be here for their last year and all of the hard work that they've put in this year to come out on top. You know, they were bet against all year, and they were underdogs all year, and they fought and they fought and they fought. And I've told them numerous times they've done more for me than I could have ever done for them. So I couldn't be more appreciative of all 6 of those names that I just named.
We'll go to Anthony in the front row.
So, Coach, I know that Dawn Staley passed it forward. She gave you a piece of that net when she won a championship, and I know Carolyn Peck did the same thing before to Dawn.
Yeah.
Who do you plan on giving a piece of that net to help the next young black coach in the profession?
Yeah, so there's one person that I have in mind right now. She's a junior college head coach, and she's someone that I think that I inspire. So her name is Shanae Govan. Shanae Williams now. There's going to be other coaches that I'll reach out to and probably send them a piece to, because I'm a big, firm believer that when someone does something for you, you need to pass it down. I'll be honest with you, I haven't thought that much into it, but that's the name that I'm definitely sending one to. And I'm definitely going to play my role in this and this part in this and being a part of that and making sure that I send someone a piece of our net, because, you know, I'm a small town kid from Arkansas. If I can do this, anybody can do this. And I think the beautiful thing about this story is I'm 35 years old. Does this hurt? Does this sting? Yeah. Yeah. I think that we absolutely have a future in this. So for me, what this does for me is it motivates me, and it fuels me to go out and get the players that we need to come back and be better. And, you know, when I pass this net down to whoever I pass it down to, I want them to understand that when you work hard, you trust God, and you do things the right way, you can do anything you set your mind to.
We'll go to Mike in the second row.
All right, Coach, and I'll kind of ask the players the same thing, but just with, you know, I know it's just a few minutes following the game, but just, you know, from where this team was at the start of the season, where really under the radar, not a whole lot of talk, and then, you know, to elevate the program to this level now where you got the whole community behind you and all that support. Can you just talk about kind of what it means to, you know, to elevate the program to this level, and then also following that, kind of how can you, you know, continue the momentum going forward?
We were faced with a giant last year and trying to get a new team. We took a risk, put in a completely new system, and sometimes if you want to do something that's never been done before, which is what we did, you have to be willing to do something you've never done before. And so we went out and got a brand new team. We completely changed our system, and we did something that's never been done before at Arkansas State. Now, what we're looking forward to now is how can we sustain this, right? We got to the tournament one time. That's not enough for us. We're hungry. We know that we can do this. Jonesboro is a special place. You know, when you see the support from where it was at the beginning of the season to where it was at the end of the season, I think that there's going to be a ton of momentum and a lot of people in our city that's excited for the start of our season next year. So we're excited about what we can build, and we're going to get in this offseason, and we're going to work our butts off just like we did last spring. Nothing about it is going to change. Our non-negotiables are going to be our non-negotiables, and if you want to come be a part of something that's bigger than yourself and be a part of a team that can win, then Arkansas State is your place. And if that's not, then you shouldn't come here. So that's going to be the message to all the recruits that we're bringing in. But we're hungry, and we want more of this, and we believe that we could build something really special in Jonesboro.
Any other questions for Coach? Coach, thank you for your time.
God is good. Thank y'all.
Congrats on a great season.
All right, thank you.